This is the rest of your lecture on external sources and how they're treated. I wanted to go over some things with you really quick. On these modules, you should be reading from the top all the way down. These sections here, module outcomes, it's just a list of things that we're going to go through. The course map is the same for everything. If you clicked it once, you can see the course map. It's not important. Everything below this green line here is what you're required to do. You're required to read for Module 3, Elementary Rules of Usage from the Elements of Style by Strunk and White. Also, you're required to read Keenan Malick's In Defense of Cultural Appropriation and Tempest Bradford's Cultural Appropriation is, in fact, Indefensible, and give me critical reading responses for both. I wanted to start with external sources. In each of the module discussion boards, there's a link, the OWL at Purdue. I went over this in the last lecture. Click on that, and it will take you to this page, which is MLA In-Text Citations. You don't have to just worry about in-text citations. In this, it'll give you general format, give you examples, how to cite a book, how to cite periodicals, electronic sources, and it'll give you the basics. What I wanted to look at today specifically is how to do in-text citations. And if you read through this page, beginning to end, it tells you exactly what to do and exactly how to deal with each. In-text citations for printed sources with no known author. In-text citations for print sources by a corporate author. And here's just the regular known author. This is the basic format. These examples. Wordsworth stated that romantic poetry was marked by a, quote, spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. And then there's the citation. If you'll notice, the citation comes in parentheses and the punctuation goes outside of those parentheses. Do it for each one. Romantic poetry is characterized by the spontaneous overflow of feelings. Wordsworth, 263. The reason why Wordsworth is put here in the citation for this one is because he's not mentioned in the sentence prior. Here, he's mentioned in the sentence prior, so you don't need to put his name here unless there are multiple authors. Here's another example. This is citing an idea. Wordsworth extensively explored the role of emotion in the creative process, which is a summary of this. And here they cite the page. That is how you do in-text citation. As you're going through your papers, when you are researching outside sources, I recommend you keep a running tab of those sources. Make a list. Create the annotation for the bibliography or works cited page. This is what appears on the works cited page. So when I read through your text, and I come to Wordsworth stated that, and then it has a page number, I know to go to Wordsworth in the works cited page. And it should be Wordsworth, William. That this is in italics tells me that it's a book. This is the printer, this is the publisher, and this is the year it was published, so I know the edition. In order to do in-text citation and works cited page, I need you to go through this. Study this whole web page. It shows you sample papers in PDF format. And it even gives you notations on things. This is an incredibly useful source. One thing I wanted to warn you about, the BMCC library. In OneSearch, if you just say I was doing a paper on Albert Camus, if I just type in Albert Camus, it gives me 15,700 results of which I have to go through. That is not an effective way to search. What you should do instead is put things in quotation marks. When it puts things in quotation marks, it looks for that exact phrase and that exact phrase. So if you're just looking for something that had Albert Camus in the title, one search will give you 11,927 results. But I want to do a paper on Albert Camus' The Stranger. So I put both in quotation marks because those are very specifically what I'm looking for. This is the book I'm looking for. Why not? It looks interesting. Looking for Stranger, Albert Camus and the Life of a Literary Classic. This seems like it's a book that would tell me a lot about the stranger. So when I go to the library, I'll find it. If I can't find it, it's not available here. Although this is available, this is available. I might be able to find it elsewhere. Say I found the book. I read through it. I found what I want, the material that I wanted quoted from it. If you click on it, it brings you to this page. And this is the page I want to warn you about. If you click on citation, it will give you choices: MLA 7th edition, APA 6th edition, Chicago 16th edition, MLA 18th edition, or 8th edition, Harvard. These are different styles of formatting. For our purposes, and in this class, you'll be using MLA format. And if you are lazy and just click MLA 7th edition, this is an incorrect citation. This makes it wrong. This makes it wrong. MLA is in their 8th edition. This is a correct citation. So what I would do is I would take that and I would copy it and I would make a Word file. Outside of my paper. A running list of things I'm going to cite in my paper. That way, when I cite it, in my paper, I can cite the page where I found that quote on. And that's how I do it. This Kaplan and this number will refer me to your works cited page, which will have Kaplan there, this entire thing. If you'll also notice, this didn't transfer well. This is in italics, which indicates a book. This copied and pasted without changing the italics, so that's actually incorrect. Now I've corrected it. I'll know to look for the author Kaplan in the library if I wanted to look up your source. And I'll know to look in this book, and that this is the publisher and the date it was published. So this is the version that I'm looking for. It's that simple. The OWL at Purdue, sample works cited page. We'll go over this again. But when you want to create a works cited page, it will look like this. These indentations are important. Like I said, we'll go over it again. And that's it. That's how you deal with in-text citation. I highly recommend you study these pages. These are what I expect. Email me if you have any questions.